What's up, banana bunch? Bunch? Bunch?
Welcome to the Junglejims podcast.
What's up, Banana Bunch? You know what time it is. It's time for another episode of the Junglejims podcast. I'm your host, Mark. Welcome to the show. Let me get a couple quick things out of the way. One, download the Junglejims app. We have app-exclusive deals. On my way to shoot this video today, I just saw a really good deal. It's on these Wow Bao Thai curry buns. They're 3 for $4.50 as of the time of this recording, and they're crazy. And they're more expensive if you don't buy them with the app. So get the app. You can check out deals. You can watch the weekly ad. You can watch the 5 most recent episodes of the podcast. You can probably watch me say things and stammer like I'm doing right now. It's going to be great. I know we've mentioned a few times that, look, I know a lot of you have reached out to me, but you're a little nervous about getting in trouble at work. I respect that. I will gladly, I'll put you in a hood if I have to, so we don't have to show who you are. But I really want to talk to some experts about food chemistry. If you can talk to me about dyes in our food and some of the chemicals that are used in the U.S. to make mass-produced food versus what it is overseas, I want to talk to you. So come on out and do the show. Okay. The show itself, though. I know it's January and it's cold right now, and people are doing like dry January and stuff like that. Look, I wish I could be dry of this product, but I love it too much, and that product is ice cream. So when I had the opportunity to have the team, it's not even just a team, it's the family from Velvet Ice Cream come into my office and make sundaes with me, you know the answer is yes. So today we're going to dive into the world of Velvet Ice Cream. Thanks to the family from Velvet Ice Cream. We're making all kinds of sundaes. The one I think I'm the most excited to spoil for you right now is their Orange Sherbet and Blue Moon. It went so crazy. I can't believe how much I even enjoyed it. So anyway, let's just go into the studio right now and learn everything we can about their ice cream, shall we?
All right, ladies, welcome to the show. If you wouldn't go this way, if you'll introduce yourselves and what you do at Velvet Ice Cream.
Joanne Dagger, Vice President of Velvet Ice Cream, born into the business of making ice cream. And I'm with my sister today,
LaConda Dagger, President of Velvet Ice Cream. Joanne and I are both part of the 4th generation of Velvet Ice Cream, and we're celebrating our 110th year this year.
That's incredible, first off. All right, how much sibling rivalry is there? Should I just get that out of the way off the top?
Let's just get that out of the way from the very beginning.
Elephant in the room besides me.
It's a common question. But
everybody we talk to says, there's no way I could work with my sister or my brother, but we make it work. We've been together now probably 20 years, working full time together.
Oh, cool.
And, her strength is maybe my weakness and vice versa. And so we just make it work.
I love that. It's like a zipper, right?
Yeah.
You just fill in where the other one can't. And
Right.
I love hearing that. Well, with you celebrating your 110th anniversary, I have to ask, what do you think has been the key to the longevity of the brand? I mean, that's pretty impressive, to put it mildly.
Thank you. Yeah, I would say, we put a lot of emphasis, obviously, behind quality, but it's a legacy brand that we really work hard at keeping it fresh and relevant and unique flavors. We have spumoni. A lot of people don't have spumoni. We have
but I love spumoni.
Yeah,
I love you for
a very unique flavor. And then we just come up with different flavors like banana cream pie and, strawberry cheesecake. We try to change it up all the time, but we're really known for our Buckeye Classic. That's, you're in Ohio, Buckeye State.
Of course.
So that's really our number one flavor when it comes to the grocery segment.
Oh, interesting. Okay, cool. I'd seen those. I was actually very excited when we were shopping for this segment. I was like, ooh, banana cream pie sounds very good. You could go with that today.
And we requested vanilla.
You had so many vanilla options. I think I maybe mentioned this to Ben at one point, who's off camera right now, that I wanted to do a whole series called The Quest for the Best. And I want to find all of these different vanillas and try all of them. And then reach out to experts like yourselves to go, why do I like old time vanilla more than French vanilla, for example? What are those things? Explain it like I'm 5. So that's just a future collab for us. So I'm ready.
I love it. Let's do it.
All right. So you said you're the 4th generation, right?
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Have you had like a lot of traditions passed down in the business sense? Like, there are little things that they've instilled along the way.
Oh, yeah. Lots of different things. Of course, just working together. At the end of the day, we're family, and we have to have family dinner together on the weekends and the holidays. And, so that's, Dad always passed down, like, you have to work together. Like, families first.
Right.
Community involvement's another big one. I mean, our dad and our uncle, who were the third generation, or still are third generation, they always pass down that we have to work in the community and we have to give back because community's been so good to us.
Sure.
One big event we have is the ice cream festival,
Oh, whoa.
which falls. You would love that. I mean,
I
you could come do a
absolutely
live
would.
segment at the festival.
That'd be a great idea.
I'm excited. I love that. Yeah,
it's
it'd be
the
fun.
end of May. It's
Okay.
Memorial
Memorial
Day
Day
weekend,
weekend.
Oh,
and this will
perfect.
be our 49th year. And we gather about 40,000 people in 3 days at our facility. And
Yeah.
everything's ice cream and old time fun. And
I love that.
It's just a great family fun weekend.
Oh my gosh. Do you find that there are struggles balancing like modern, since it has been a generational thing, like modern sensibilities with some of the heritage, or do you think it blends it together pretty easily?
It's part of our culture, so I don't know. I think we blend it pretty easily. I mean, I've seen some old brands have a hard time with trying to keep it relevant and new and fresh. But I think because we keep having new generations that are interested in the business that bring new and fresh ideas.
Yeah.
And we've had some really good marketing consultants that have helped us over the years. And but it is getting tougher and tougher. There's no doubt. I mean, the retail space is cutthroat.
Oh, absolutely.
So, and it's more expensive today
Yeah.
to create like all these new flavors.
Of course.
So,
But even though when we did some trial and error in those flavors, like using basil or lemon or something like that,
Oh, interesting.
we did a go at it, but the customer comes back to the flavors that we know and love.
yeah.
Right.
It's those butter pecan and cashews and triple chocolate chunks and
Sure.
things like that. That's truly what they want in their ice cream.
Yeah. A little familiarity in that
Right.
Right.
regard. Now that you've mentioned this too, what is R&D like for you? Like, when you're talking about innovating, like, I mean, are you just doing things like, hey, lemon and basil sound like they'd go together. Should we just put this in a pot? I mean, or is it, I'm assuming much more detailed than that.
Yeah, there's a little more strategic than that, but we have an R&D team, so we meet quarterly,
Oh,
and
okay.
we're always cutting our existing flavors, but also then, trying to create new flavors. And we have great suppliers that help us do that, like suppliers like Pecan Deluxe or Star K White. They bring flavors, ideas to us,
Oh,
or
cool.
they bring the mix-ins to us, and then we can kind of create our own. But a store like Junglejims is a great place to do R&D. So you walk the cookie aisle, you walk the candy aisle, and you just kind of see what's new and what's on your end case, and
Yeah.
Like, what is everybody buying right now?
right.
I imagine social media is probably helpful for that a little bit too, though. Things like, I mean, I feel like half of everyone's ideas come from TikTok now.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Especially consumers, they all think they're ice cream connoisseurs, and we'll take it, But we usually do get a lot of our ideas from the consumer.
I love that, though. I
Yeah.
mean, it's probably a good way to be. I
Yeah.
mean, obviously with you having that and your commitment to quality and everything like that as well, as far, it's got to be the right way, especially as you mentioned, like the retail space being so cutthroat. Obviously, people's spending habits are changing a little bit now.
Yep.
Feels like luxuries are often the first thing to go. So it's like when you can really lock them in and do what they want, I imagine they're
Right.
less willing to walk away,
They like to get involved in ice
Yeah.
cream, like if we do flavor contests, we get usually a pretty good turnout for things like that.
That sounds really cool. See, that's what we should host here.
Right.
I regret when you asked this off camera, and I'm happy to cut it if you don't want it in. But I can't believe I didn't remember the scoop shop that used to be here.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
been a while though. It's probably
5
been
years, maybe?
8 maybe. Yeah, 8 or 10 years. Time flies.
Okay, so that would make sense though too, because that's probably around the time that Eastgate opened.
Yes.
And Eastgate's like 25 minutes closer to my house.
right.
So
Okay.
I would once that opened, I was like, great, I can go to that one instead.
Right.
So then I just totally missed out. That's
Yeah.
cool though. See, now I'm like, all right, we gotta
Yeah.
have a flavor fest here at Jungle Gyms.
Yeah, I
I've got
love
some
it.
space for us.
And then there was a hot sauce contest that we did.
Yeah, we did a hot sauce
Really?
contest. Yeah, that
What was that? Yeah, how'd that all shake out?
They were eating it on different types of foods.
Okay.
And we were toning it down to give the mouth palate
I
a
love it.
break.
Yeah.
So, but it was fun. The partnership together went hand in hand.
Well, see, and that's why I'm so excited to try the hot sauce sundae later. Actually, I think that's going to be a good one. What's the behind the scenes like on your process? Like, are there any things you can, as far as what makes your quality special? Like, are there any things you can kind of hint at without
We can't tell you all that.
that? And that's totally fine too. Exactly. I was like, don't give me any real secrets, but at the same time, maybe a few secrets.
Well, like flavors like our butter pecan and cashew,
Mm-hmm.
it has a lot more salt in the background flavor than most
Interesting.
people realize. So that's what we believe keeps them coming back, is because it's the salt that you taste. enhances the nut flavor.
Yeah.
And makes it just so unique. Plus, it's a butter pecan and cashew, not just butter
Not just
pecan.
very fun. Yeah, exactly. Which are already a little unique in that space too, but that
Right.
sounds good.
Right.
Yeah.
A little
Yeah.
extra nuttiness too. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense too. That you always tell with a lot of really great sweet treats that sometimes it's like the perfect chocolate chip cookie has a good amount of salt in it.
Right.
Yes.
And you never think about that
People
until
don't
you
think
make
about
it.
it.
No,
Mhm.
I was making some yesterday, so it was
Yeah.
fresh on the mind. I'm like, I was also making some ice cream yesterday, but it's not ready. I'm not sure how it. I've been trying to figure out this apple cider. I made I'll just be a
That
dork for a
sounds
minute.
good.
That
Well,
does.
so I made an orange ice cream this summer because I don't love creamsicle,
Okay.
but conceptually I was like, there's no reason I can't have this, right? I was like, I just want a milky orange flavor, and it came out so good. I was so, and again, as someone who's,
And what did you use as your orange background?
or it's like fresh,
Just fresh oranges?
Yeah. So there's a market in town that fresh squeezes orange juice.
Okay.
So it was orange juice, and then I zested a few as well
Yeah.
to get a little extra in there. I mean, there are definitely things I learned. Like I probably put too much zest in because by the end it was very texturally different. I will say, but the flavors came through so strong. I was so happy with it. So anyway, I was like, oh, I can use the same recipe, and I'm gonna do it with apple cider. This is so nerdy. I ship apple cider in from where I grew up, and it's really great cider. It's definitely worth it. So I've got a couple of that going. I've got some like freeze dried apples. I'm going to grind up into the mix to try to impart a little more apple flavor. Because with oranges,
A little texture.
Yeah.
yeah, it's also like orange is so potent. I felt like apple will maybe get
More
lost.
subtle, yeah.
So I was like, this might be a fun way to do it. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm not quite an expert operation in the Borzen household. But,
There you go. We
me
might
and
have to
my-
have you on the R&D team.
I would
you know?
love.
thinking the
Listen,
same thing.
if you need a consultant anytime, I've eaten plenty of things. We were just talking about growing up on the East Coast, and you would run into places that would do savory ice creams, and I vividly remember this place doing a lobster ice cream.
Oh my goodness.
And I just remember the base being very almost like butter rather than ice cream. It was a strange thing. As a kid, I hated it, but now I'm like, I'd probably try it.
Interesting. Yeah.
I was like, can we do sort of like a lobster roll ice cream sandwich now?
We did a maple bacon one year for the Ohio State Fair.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, yeah.
How'd that turn
It
out?
was-
Pretty awesome.
Oh, very
People
popular.
liked it.
Yeah.
It was not one of my favorites,
Yeah.
but
Sure.
it was either a love-hate thing,
Absolutely.
But I'd say
Well,
more
that candy
consumers liked
coating.
it.
Yep.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's a good pairing of flavors, and I think I might be on your side where I'm like, I love that people love this.
Yes.
And I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
That's got to be a funny part, though. Do you ever run into those where you're like working on a flavor and you're like, all right, this isn't for me?
Yeah.
Can you
Yes.
think of any that the public really loves that you all were like, I don't know about this?
There was a grape Concord. Remember that
Yeah,
one?
grape Concord
Whoa,
one.
that
Yeah.
sounds delicious.
It
but-
sounds good, but
Yeah.
it did not taste well.
really okay, and like
Too bitter or something.
Yeah. Oh, I can
Yeah.
see that too.
Yeah.
And that
Or the
little-
raspberry salad.
Yeah. We had a customer keep asking for a raspberry salad. So it was basically raspberry sherbet
okay.
ice cream or sherbet,
Yeah.
With walnuts.
with like
It's kind
three
of like a
different
Waldorf
types.
salad.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see it like hitting some ambrosia
Yeah.
notes. How about just raspberry? Then you can add this stuff to it.
Like, well, that's
This
when
is
you
what-
realize it's not just all about you and what you
Of
like.
course,
You know.
the hardest thing to learn. It's like I'm not always my target customer, even though I might love this.
Exactly. No, we've had some winners and we've had some losers. I mean, that's just all part of it, and that's the fun part about the business is you just create and have different palates and different tastes and
It's all such a subjective thing at
Right,
the end of the day,
that's
right?
right.
You're like, what my favorite vanilla
Yeah.
might be your least favorite.
right.
Well, I have to ask this while I have you both here. Do each of you have a favorite flavor? Like when you
course.
yeah, what?
Yeah, I'm a chocolate lover. All full like triple chocolate, dark chocolate.
Yeah, that's a personal
Yep.
favorite of
Yep.
mine.
I'm always on the mint chocolate chip side.
Oh, yeah, another great
do.
choice too.
Yeah.
That soft mint, and I get upset about this every year because I feel like they outlaw chocolate and mint on December 26th. They're just like, Christmas is over, pack it up, boys. Peppermints, see you next year. I don't know what that is. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, who made that rule? I'd like to speak. If you know who I can speak with.
Same at
It's true.
Thanksgiving with pumpkin pie. It's
Yeah.
like you're done the
They're
day
like, "Ooh,
after.
that's it. You only
Yep.
had it. Yeah.
you-
I was joking about that this Thanksgiving where I was like, I live in a pumpkin pie and a mashed potato desert. And it shows up one day and I'm going to eat a disgusting amount of both. And then, yeah, next year I'll just like, hopefully see next November,
Yep.
you know?
Yeah. Right.
Hopefully tastes don't change.
We've joked about it too. Come January, we thinks it's old, but it's
Yeah.
only been on the shelf for a month.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. You're like,
Yeah.
this is weeks, you know? It's so silly to think about how. It's. I wonder what we did as a people to decide these kinds of kind of arbitrary rules. You know, it's like in America, everybody, it's like breakfast food in the morning, lunch. There's like and then when you leave the country, everyone's like, yeah, we just eat whatever anytime.
And
Food
they
is
do,
food is food.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
In
like,
Europe, they're eating olives in the morning with yogurt.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm in. I was like, why not? Why can't I have a bowl of pho? You know what I mean? Like, it's fine. Soup sounds awesome in the morning. If anything, maybe I'll go close the night out that way. Well, obviously, you all have like a really personal connection to this and being fourth generation, but like, why? Why did your family dive into ice cream? What was the real start of all of this?
Well, our great grandfather, the story we've been told, obviously, unfortunately, we never knew him, but he came over from Lebanon in early 1900s and couldn't read or write and English, and he soon realized that ice cream was this all-American dessert.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, when he got here, he could just tell ice cream was it, and he fell in love with the product and started making it just like you did, like at home, you know, just small little batch, and then it started to just grow after that. So, and then he named it Velvet because of like the material, or back then there were a lot of products named Velvet, like Velvet cigars and
interesting.
Velvet, you know, different products.
Because I think
Velvet.
it probably had a bit of like a luxurious note to it,
Sure,
and then obviously also nice because it describes the texture very well.
Exactly.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I love that so much. See, now that I'm hearing this, now I know I was right to not share my delicious ice creams I made with anyone this summer, because I don't need to start an ice cream empire. I got a lot going on. If I thought it was an option, I would start an ice cream empire.
Hey.
I have a frozen throne, maybe something cone shaped. I'm not sure where I'd work that in.
So you love ice cream.
I really do. I just, you know what? I'm a general enjoyer of things, right? Like, and I just feel like sometimes hitting those nostalgic, youthful notes, ice cream is such a perfect thing.
Right.
I don't know anybody that doesn't like it. So there is that angle of that. I mean, you know, you think about things like an ice cream social.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know other foods that have like a social gathering named after them.
That's a good point.
And so I think there's this sort of universal connector that we find in here. And I think one of the things that I like so much about it is that it is incredibly versatile. It is, you can kind of make anything. You can make a lobster ice cream if you wanted. You can try something like, you know,
Right.
Well, we were joking about the pickle ice cream idea, right? We're like, I mean, that's something that could be very doable. And I bet people would go crazy
I
for.
bet you.
I'm not that person. I'm still pretty middle of the road on pickles. I was like, yeah, that's cool. If you want it, I would love you to have it. If not, I'm happy to eat it. But no, when thinking about that, I think it's just so fascinating. So, yes.
It's a comfort food,
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
so it like draws us in too.
Yeah, I want to feel comforted, you
Right,
know, and I
right.
like being able to share that with other people too. It's maybe as trite as that might sound, but it is kind of
But
nice.
we've met people that say, "Oh, I'm sorry, but I don't like ice cream." Like, what?
Yeah.
How do you not like ice cream?
Yeah, there's so many options.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those things that I'm like, I bet you haven't had the right one. You know, you're like, what's your flavor? And you're like,
haven't
oh,
had
raspberry
velvet.
salad. Well,
Yeah.
okay, we're working on it.
It's been in R&D for a while.
Oh my gosh. Well, I think maybe speaking of R&D, maybe now's a good time to dive into some of
Let's do it.
the creations that you've concocted here today.
Yeah, let's try a couple.
All right, which one do we want to start with first? Do we want to go float first?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
or-
let's go with
a
the
little
beer.
mild first,
Okay.
you know, and then we'll get into the
I'll slide one of these over
spicy.
here.
Yeah.
I'm
Is
curious.
that going to
about
be
this.
a twist off, I wonder?
I think it is.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so we're going what? This is a Blue Moon float, right?
Blue Moon float. We're going to put a little bit of the old time vanilla, but as you said, we could use several different types of vanillas if you wanted. You could intermix it even.
Yeah.
To get a good layer, I always do a couple dips at a time. Then you'll just do a little Blue Moon on top.
So give it a nice.
It's
nice
gonna be
little-
like a blue
Yeah.
moon float.
Yeah, it sounds awesome.
Yeah, and it's always good to let your ice cream temper a little bit. You know, some people might think it's a little softer, but it tastes better when you when it's tempered and it's soft. You get the full flavor.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, it looks good. It's so rich and lovely.
It is got a nice
You're
color, doesn't
salivating
it?
over there, Mark.
I am.
know it.
It's the worst part of the show, honestly, is me not being able to control the noise of that.
Look at that. You know, we've
looks
tried a lot of
beautiful.
these
It looks
before, even
beautiful.
with like the apple. What's that apple beer?
Oh, is it red?
cider.
Angry
or-
apple?
Oh,
yeah.
angry
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we've tried
Yeah,
it with
cider
angry
beer.
apple and put a
Yeah.
little cinnamon
That's
in there
great too,
before
yeah.
too. They work really well together.
Yeah, not your dad's root beer. We've
Oh,
used
yeah.
that too.
That's
and
awesome.
Made a root
Yeah,
beer.
keep it good for the holidays
Yeah.
too. It's time to try. Oh, I'm so excited. Another one of those fun parts of the show where I'm
you
sitting
get to
here
try it.
having a little beer and a little ice cream in the morning.
It won't hurt
Why
anybody.
wouldn't you?
Oh, baby, that's good. Wow, the
You
creamy
probably wanna
vanilla
throw the beer
action. Yeah, right, exactly. That creamy vanilla combo though with the Blue Moon is so good, and you get like it tempers the beer flavor as well a little bit, which is not the Blue Moon's like super potent, but you know when you sip it, you're like, oh, that's definitely a beer. And now it's like this rich vanilla, creamy.
Now you could
So
even
the-
use a sherbet
baby.
with that, couldn't you? And do a
Oh,
sherbet
sure.
float too.
Sure.
Oh, that would be
Yeah.
delicious.
We could
too.
layer both of them in there.
I mean,
Like if
I'll
people
make some
don't
room.
want the dairy, you know, there's a lot of people
Sure.
maybe allergic to dairy and such. You could do a sherbet with the Blue Moon, and it's delicious that way.
So good. Oh, that's crazy delish. Luck, do you want to try any of these as I hand them off camera?
He's okay.
Oh, the sherbet for the Blue Moon float?
Oh, you're right. We should have layered it.
Hey, well, I'm into that.
Maybe we should try a
Slide
second
it
one.
back.
No, let's try a second one.
You're going to layer it differently? All right, I love it. We're getting an update already. This developer's patch notes coming in. Ooh, the sherbet looks great, too. And the cups are so fun, too. Thank you, by the way, for providing all the glassware. That was fun.
Oh, that's easy. You did the hard part. You had to walk the store, try to decide which items we wanted to put in there.
Oh, it's always, that's like, it is a very fun part of the day, but it is always a little like, oh, did I grab the right one? You know?
Do you want to keep this one strictly orange since you're an orange lover?
Yeah, why not? We'll try it. And then we have a pretty wide divide between the two we tried.
Let's just top it off there on top.
Sounds awesome.
That looks very
Looks
good.
fun, too. Look at this, everybody.
Look at that great coloring.
Yeah, it really is lovely.
I'd fill it up for you normally, but we've got two more for you to indulge in, too.
The vanilla's great. And I could see the combo being delicious as well. That orange sherbet and beer is...
That one's better?
That's awesome. Not that I would say the first one was bad, but it just... I think with the little hint of orange in the Blue Moon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
That's
there you
delicious.
go.
A couple other ways
That's
you
the
can cook
That's like
it.
one of those, I'm like, I'll need a minute or two alone. Just get a couple deep breaths
With you
out.
being the chocolate lover, you could always do a chocolate stout with
Yeah.
the chocolate ice
that
cream.
would be great.
That's always a good one, too.
Well, you know what? Now I'm seeing all these like fruited sour beers too, and like the lambics were always popular. I remember, I think one time trying a raspberry lambic. Funny enough, we're stuck on raspberry now today. Trying that with vanilla ice cream, and that was amazing. So there, yeah, again, it comes back down to the versatility.
Yeah, it's endless.
The chips are very mad at me now. I was like, oh gosh, is there a spirit in the room?
Yeah. And they're probably like, what are you using me for?
Yeah, we'll find. Well, you know, when you mentioned the chips, I was like, okay, we should get some plain ones. But then I was like, well, depending on how this all goes, the barbecue
Barbecue
grippos,
would be good.
kind of, yeah, that could maybe be amazing. A little spice, a little heat, a little sweet. I'm in. These are great. We're off to a great start, ladies. Thank you so much.
That sweet and salty together always is a hit.
Right. I'm back to the salting the chocolate chip.
Let's go ahead and dive right into the hot sauce one. Well, now let's save that for the end.
Okay.
Let's open up some of the Grippos chips. We can
Okay.
do both of them. Maybe we do a pickle at the same time.
Oh, there we go. Here's a couple of plains.
Okay.
And then I'll open the barbecue too.
I'm going to put them both in there together.
Sure. I love it. Little ice cream gumbo. Let's go for it.
The Grippo's another good Ohio company, isn't it?
Yeah,
Oh,
I was trying to keep
goodness,
it as
yes.
local as possible.
Love it. Yeah, Cincinnati.
This is fun. This is really, people are like, you have a great job, Mark. I'm like, yeah, it is pretty good. And then I'm sitting here eating ice cream sundaes that someone else is making as the start of my day. I'm like, oh yeah, well, it can't get
and
much
look,
better.
look at-
Not a bad gig.
No,
You can
not at all.
always do a little whipped cream.
Sure.
Here, help me out, Vanna.
I realized as soon as I was like, oh, I'll start peeling all of these. I think the pickles are already opened.
Are they? Okay, yes. I got to give them a smell. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, with our pickle war event coming up in February, I think our excitement for pickles cannot be tempered. Oh, that looks fun.
Do that a little bit.
All right, so we've
a
got
little crunch.
Yeah,
and
I love that
cream.
idea. So we've got plain chips. I'm going right to the spicy side. I don't know what's hit me today.
We probably in the future
You like that one?
That's a good combo.
Yeah.
should cut up, if anyone's going to try this at home, I would cut up the pickle a little bit on the bottom.
Okay.
It'd probably make it easier to actually
eat.
get a piece in each little
Yeah.
bite. Now with the vanillas, you can use any of the vanillas. We have a vanilla bean. The old time vanilla is actually same as a French vanilla.
Okay.
And then we have an original vanilla. Or you could use a trio vanilla that we have that actually
I
has
saw
the
that. Is
three.
it like all segmented out?
three,
I
exactly.
kind of assumed that's how it's going to look.
Neapolitan
gonna be-
style.
Yeah, I love that.
I'm
Listen.
going to put a little of it just right on top. Nothing too crazy, just a little bit.
Yeah, when you all had the spumoni, that was just
Yep. That's a
that
good
was one of those dishes when we moved here. Excuse me. One of those flavors rather when we moved here that I was just like, I don't think I'm gonna have spumoni until we go back home, kind of a thing. And then finding it from brains like yourself, it was dream come true.
Good. Excellent. Now, where's home? Who had?
I grew up in New Jersey, so I
Okay.
split our time between New Jersey and New York City.
Okay.
So it was always fun. Oh, baby. This is
I know.
interesting.
Pickle be nice and crisp too.
Yeah, the little ones on the bottom as well, right?
Mark's having a little sugar overload here.
I
in a
know.
little bit.
That's what I'm trying to. I'm like slowly trying.
You
got
got to be really
myself.
honest about this
I
one.
will. Well, and I know we joked about it off camera, but I'm not like the world's biggest pickle fanatic, but is that the best one?
Seriously?
I don't know. We've got
The
one more to
pickle one
come.
is the best one. Crazy.
He's pleasantly surprised.
I am. That again, you have the kind of the sour tartness of the pickle, but it's also a little sweet. But that brine with the vanilla, like I would almost make a pickle brine milkshake now. That sounds weird, but also maybe delicious.
We're gonna have to try this pickle thing now at the R&D. That'll be the next big discussion at the
I
R&D.
love that. It's so funny how in these different settings that the vanilla tastes so much different each time too, in a really refreshing way, right? Like
Right.
it still stands strong, but you also it's like imbued with a little bit of whatever else is going on in there.
Right.
That's crazy.
That's the beauty of vanilla.
I think I picked the right one today too. I was just very
think
excited. I
so.
saw Old Time. I was like, I think this will hit. It was either that or
Oh,
vanilla
yeah.
bean,
Yeah.
but I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to distract.
Oh no, let's hit it up here at the hot sauce.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, here you go. I did open that one up. So I'm using, this is another local brand. This is Tannenbaum's strawberry mint basil hot
if you can
sauce.
get that.
A
My hands are-
botanical hot sauce that pop open.
There we go.
Did you get it? Okay.
I had it heat sealed. There, what I love about it
that.
is
Smells
it's
good.
like it has some heat on it, but it's also
You've had this
still-
one before?
Yeah, I
Okay.
really love their line, and they have a bunch of different flavors. They have like a blueberry one. There's a pineapple. There's
There smells
cherry.
like some kind of apple or something in that, maybe. Or
I bet there is too.
Okay, this reminds me a little bit of avocado too. When you put the coffee
Oh yeah.
on top of that.
A different heat though today, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Okay, this one might end up winning.
Yeah, this is nice.
Oh yeah, and it has that kind of. We'll clean this one off.
Okay, it's got a little mint and basil in there too.
Yeah, super rounded out a little bit. But I love the ice cream is definitely going to temper the heat a little bit.
I think this is gonna be the favorite. Look at me.
Because they have like almost like a
Okay.
jam-ish like flavor to it,
That's what. Yeah. When I
and then the
smelled
heat
it,
creeps
that's what
back
it
in.
seemed.
It's that's fun. But I will say the pickle's still not too far behind.
That's crazy.
Like I think if I wasn't already predisposed to loving strawberry and fruit flavors in general,
right.
it's kind of awesome. Yeah, I'm
try it
curious for your
myself.
take. I really like
I
their
am.
hot sauces too. So
They have other flavors.
yes, I'm so sorry.
We'll have to do some fun social media things with them.
Oh, I bet they're a
Being
cool
another
brand.
Ohio company.
Yeah. Right? It's not
gets ya.
super hot, but it's like hot
No.
enough that you know it's there.
You do have to prepare yourself for it though.
Right. Yeah, I always joke it's like not as hot as I would expect, but it's also still hotter than I thought it was going to be every time.
Very
That's
good.
good.
I got to go
Yeah,
back for
that's
a
good,
second.
right? Like the little blend of both.
Yeah.
We had a spicy caramel that we did several years ago.
I bet that would be interesting
And
too.
it was really good, and it did the same thing. You didn't get the pepper cayenne flavor until you got to the back of the throat a little
That
bit.
is excellent.
Yeah.
That is good.
I really like on their hot sauces that I don't really taste the pepper. I'm experiencing it rather. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's good. And it pairs
Yeah.
so well
It
with
just
this vanilla.
naturally kind of lingers, but you
Right.
don't. Yeah.
You know what I bet it's good on too is probably the sherbet,
Oh,
actually.
probably. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's fun. Wow. See, this is what
Oh,
I'm
wow.
telling myself. This is what your R&D actually looks like.
Yeah. Well, you're not far off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
you're not
really
far
A
do.
little less colorful roux, maybe.
People ask if we eat ice cream every day, and you have to say, well, we do.
We
honestly.
almost do. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you have to.
You have to.
Yeah, you need to be good at what you do.
Right,
Yeah.
right. We're just sampling. We're not like sitting down having a huge bowl.
bowl.
Exactly. Right.
You
It's
know,
like this.
They're
It's
just a
like,
couple
okay.
bites, and
Yeah.
that's you get.
I'll take a couple. I'm like, I took a few more bites than I anticipated because I was like, oh, that one's really good. That one's really good too. These are all really good. The potato chip is such a great add-on. And I thought I was going to love the Grippo barbecue in there. I think if I mixed it with chocolate, the Grippo barbecue would be crazy. Almost like a Mexican hot chocolate is kind of I think how it tastes. The regular potato chip and the vanilla goes great. That's a 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah.
And it's just such a nice little
Balance and-
yeah, absolutely. You get that little saltiness, you get the crunchiness from it. So I'm loving the
Yep.
texture. I'm on board. This was delicious. Wow.
Great.
Right now we have to just drink all the pickle brine
No.
and the rest of the six pack.
the rest of the Blue Moon. Yeah.
Yeah. This has been amazing. Well, first off, I'm so thankful you all came in. I'm glad we did this.
Thank you
Yeah,
for having
thank you.
us.
Of course, anytime. Seriously, I'd love to come up. I know we joked about it off camera, but I'll lock you in on camera. I'd love to come visit sometime. If that's ever a thing,
Absolutely.
we'd love to come make some content and everything. Content. Oh,
Yeah.
Lucky's shrugged, I'm sure, when I said that word. Make videos. We're making art.
We'd love to have you at our corporate office because our
Absolutely.
corporate office is this old grist mill. So the
Oh,
foundation
cool.
of the building has been there since 1817.
1817.
And so it's a real historic building.
That sounds amazing.
And it's just it's a local, summertime destination because our on-site ice cream parlor and restaurant is down below.
Oh, okay.
And so we could go down there and even, make some other sundaes. and-
Yeah.
rain.
Maybe that's my promise to you is I'll try to come up with Sundays to bring to you.
Oh, that would be great.
That'd be kind of fun.
Well,
There's our
Jungle
collab.
visited
And-
us probably, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Drove in the jungle car. I don't even remember what it was, but I remember the big horns on the front
Oh,
of,
yeah.
of the jungle, like Cadillac or whatever.
Yeah,
it was. And
I've heard. I've never seen it. I've
was-
only heard
It
tell
was
of
great. It was wonderful.
He's hilarious. I love
He
that.
is. He's
This is
hilarious.
such a unique and interesting place to work for. Obviously, I mean, you have a pretty good idea here, but even still, it's so funny and just, privileged every day to be here, I rarely take time off because, life is fun.
Right,
It's
that's great.
silly to
Exactly.
say, but
No, that's wonderful.
that's so cool. Well, all right. Anything fun coming down the pipeline for you in the near future that we should make the audience aware of, or anything I didn't cover that you want to make sure they heard?
We just would, have them visit Velvet Ice Cream, our corporate office in Utica. It's just a 2-hour and 15-minute drive from
that's not bad.
Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Joanne and I actually both went to Xavier University, so
Right.
we
Oh, cool.
made the drive to Utica back and forth many
Religiously.
times. So Cincinnati's like a second home to us. So we'd love for all of the local Cincinnatians. We know they're surrounded by great ice cream down here, but
Yep.
they got
come on
to
up.
come up north.
Right.
and-
I'm here for a little road trip.
That's
Make
right.
it party. Make it part of your travels to Cleveland or whatever it might be.
That'd be awesome. And then, you know what? Maybe I'll just round up some troops and come visit.
That'd be great.
Maybe I'll find a new version of whatever Jungle Cruisers out there. We'll pack all of us in a van with some colors on it.
Yep.
Yeah, the horns.
But our parlor's not open May through October.
Yeah, that's fine. I've got time.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
I'm telling myself after this pinched nerve, I'm out another 4 months. That's been the whole theme of the show in the last year. I fell down some stairs at a conference I was speaking at in June, so I just got back.
Oh, wow.
And now I'm like, oh, of course.
Here
now
we
that
go
I'm working
again,
right-
right?
I'm sure it'll be fine, but it's one of those where I was joking. I was like, nothing really happened. I just went to sleep in my 40s and woke up, and I'm like, I don't know if I could drive today. That's crazy. Oh my gosh. But it has been my absolute pleasure to have you in here.
Well, thank you
Seriously.
for
Thank you so
having
much. Yeah, of
us.
course. Yeah. And make sure everyone come in and shop. We have a very extensive selection of theirs. They have a huge section in the ice cream area in Dairy and Frozen in Fairfield. I would imagine it looks very similar in Eastgate as well. Tons of great flavors. So far, the old time vanilla is my favorite of the vanillas, but stay tuned because I'll probably do some TikToks and things like that. Maybe even another show post where we try all of the vanillas and declare a victor. So. Well, thank you again.
Thank
for being
you
here.
so
Yeah.
much for
Thank
having
you.
us. It's been great.
Of course, yeah, our pleasure. Thanks for coming down. I'll cut on that.
I've been standing here for the whole episode, and my hands are really, really cold. Hey, all jokes. Well, that's not a joke. I was thinking about licking this before, but now I know better. Thank you so much, everyone at Velvet. I really appreciated having you ladies on. You were awesome. I'm looking forward to all the collaborative ideas that we came up with. There's so many silly things, and I'm really looking forward to coming up and visit you one of these days, because I think I speak for all of us, both watching and creating the show, and saying that we really want to do that tour. It'd be so much fun. Awesome. Well, hey, everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. Got more fun stuff on the way. More for stuff? What does that even mean? More fun stuff on the way. So thank you so much for subscribing. If you're listening along on any of your audio platforms, I appreciate you. But of course, I always want to invite you to come watch us on YouTube. You can subscribe there. We don't just release the podcast there. We also release other short form content that's a lot of fun and informative and all that good stuff. I'd love your support there. And in the meantime, though, thanks for watching, and I'll see you out there in the aisles.
The Junglejims podcast is recorded in the WJJI studio inside Junglejims International Market in Fairfield, Ohio. The Junglejims podcast is produced and hosted by Mark Borison.